Hello everyone, welcome to today's edition of the Java Workshop on Instagram. For those of you who are joining us for the first time today, the Java Workshop is a quick conversation between us and experts in the field of motorcycling and beyond. Our motorcycles are just not motorcycles for us, but the Java is a way of life for all of us Java riders. So the Java Workshop aims to make this life better by talking about things that help us in various aspects related to the motorcycling life. As we are under a lockdown, we have time to learn a lot of things that would help us to be ready for the roads later. So, following yesterday's announcement of the lockdown extension, I think today is an apt day to talk about how to take care of our Java motorcycles during this extended lockdown period. And to talk about that, we have a very special guest, Joshua Crasto, with us today. And let me just try and bring him into this room. All right, I'm just waiting for Joshua to join, and Joshua is here.
Hi, Vikram. How are you?
Hi, Josh. So a little bit of introduction about Joshua. So Joshua proudly wears a lot of feathers in his hat, and I've known him for 15 years personally. And he's been an automobile journalist. He still writes freelance for some publications even today. He's a great rider on track and off the road. And Josh also has a commercial pilot license. And Josh, right now, he builds motorcycles, restores motorcycles, and he also develops small parts for motorcycles under his JC Moto and Garage 52 brands in Bombay. So today, he's going to talk to us about how to take care of your Java during this lockdown period. And as you all can see that we have a Java parked behind. So Josh will take us through all the details about how to take care of the Java. Before that, I would also like to tell you all about this button. You all can see this question mark icon on your live screens. So if you want to have any questions answered by Joshua, please use this button. Put in your questions there so that we can answer them more effectively, and we will try and answer all the relevant questions here today during this live session. So over to you, Joshua. Let's start with the absolute basics. So what is the correct way to park a motorcycle in these times? Let's start with the extreme basics. Yeah.
I think that's a fairly important point that a lot of people tend to overlook, because you just park it wherever in your neighborhood, and especially when it's been a month, if not longer now, that motorcycles are parked. The absolute correct way is to have it on its main stand if it has one, which the Java does. So you put it on its main stand, and preferably in a place that's not everyone has the privilege to have covered parking, but a place that's kind of outside of a dirty environment, definitely not under a tree. A lot of people use the tree for shade, but bird droppings and leaves and stuff fall on the motorcycle, and then all of this organic matter decomposes on it, leaving back stains. So I think find a place which is as dust free as possible, and of course if you not everyone has a dust free environment, and then you want to get a proper motorcycle cover to cover the motorcycle. Yeah.
And how do you take care of, say, the rodent problems which have, I faced that in the past.
Yeah. So this is another thing. If you have like open parking, or you're parking on the street, maybe for a lot of people, it's very common to have people come and say, oh, the bike's not starting, something's up, everything was working, today it's not running. And then overnight rodents have come and sort of gone at the wiring. And my common advice to everyone is to tell them to feed the rodents well. But I think more importantly is, you get tobacco packets, which act as a deterrent to keep rodents away. So if you tear the lid of the packet and then place it in a couple of places on your bike, like I saw, for example, I'll just quickly turn it around. So you've got on the engine here, you could possibly leave it, just put a packet in the nook here, and then maybe one up here. And it's the smell as well as the fact that the tobaccos there that keep the rodents away, which can save you a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, I mean, okay. So now the bike is properly parked, and we all live in cities, and there is a little bit of dust deposits which keep on happening. So how do you keep the motorcycle shining? How do you clean it well, and so that you store it in immaculate condition?
Yeah, so this is actually a lot of people don't clean their motorcycles when you're using them. So when you're not using them, it's harder because you tend to forget about the motorcycles parked there. Oh, it was brand new. I mean, almost all of your bikes are less than a year old. So everyone's like, oh, it's shining. We leave it there. We'll go get it, and then when they get to it, it's the buffing has gone white, and then there's rust on the rims and stuff. And honestly, the very basic advice to something like this is to keep it clean. It's just that simple. Just keep it clean. So I'll show you on this motorcycle here itself. What happens is a lot of people, they splash water on the motorcycle and then they walk away from
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
There's hard water, or if you're using, let's say, like a harsh detergent, or even dust, for example, especially if you live in Bombay or any coastal city, the air is corrosive because of the sea of the salt in it, from the sea. So you start seeing all the buffing, and it starts turning like this shade of like dull, and let me just quickly turn the camera around. So you see on this bike I have here, so there's this side of it, which is absolutely shining. You can see a reflection. If I keep my hand there, you can still see my hand, right?
Yeah, correct.
And I'm guessing this motorcycle was parked with this side against the wall. But if you look at this side now, you can see the white spots come in.
Yeah, there are spots. Yes.
Yeah, and this is the side of the motorcycle that's exposed to the sea breeze or to air, and the bike's not covered. So then you have these little spots on it. So now see, even if I try to rub it clean, you still have these spots, which it's not like you can't clean it, but it gets a bit annoying, and you'll end up spending a bunch of money cleaning it. So the idea is to, before you even let's not talk about how to clean it, but just keeping it clean will prevent all of this stuff, And here's another common thing. Now, this is an exhaust, which is like, if you look at it from afar, oh, it's clean, it's chrome, it's shining, but you can see these are just water droplets.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
yes.
And basically, if you wash your motorcycle and wipe it dry, then you're not going to have any of those. Especially if it's hard water, it's going to cause all of these chrome areas to start rusting, So it's again just very simple, basic idea of keep your motorcycle clean. The biggest challenge, I'll tell you, is the rims. If you look at this rim here, let me see if I can get the light on it. Hold on. Yeah. So this motorcycle was washed, but can you see this white mark?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And that's where, so you wash the motorcycle, but the water is collected in the rim.
Yeah, correct.
And this is probably hard water. So if you don't wipe this out like this, that's where rust is going to form immediately, So, so these, so keeping it clean, is actually what I can say is is like the best advice. Before we can even get on to how to clean it, what to use, etc. It's basically keeping your motorcycle as dust free as possible. And keeping an eye on the minor details, like the paint doesn't really go bad, but it's all the shiny stuff that can get damaged pretty easily.
Yes, and in fact, as we were talking about it, I see a lot of comments on the chrome and how to protect the chrome and how to clean the chrome parts. So I think that's the next question which I'm going to ask you, so that it answers a lot of queries for the viewers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so the buffing, for example, which is the engine cases and the aluminium parts. I use a couple of compounds. One is something called Mother's Polish, which is not really available in India. So you can get it on Amazon, but the Indian equivalent would be.
I think you sent me a picture of that.
So this is what I use for the buff surfaces, which works wonders. It brings back the shine almost immediately. The Indian equivalent is what's called the Waxpol rubbing compound. So if you I think you have a photo there, which is it's not too expensive. It's about 50 or 60 rupees. And again,
is it this one?
No. It's the green bottle.
No, I don't think I have that. Yeah.
Waxpol.
But anyways,
it's an Indian compound. You get it at any hardware shop. and it works wonders on the buffing area. The chrome, on the other hand, is a little tricky because you don't want to use anything abrasive on the chrome because it takes away that mirror finish. So a lot of people, once it starts
Yes.
catching rust and rust spots, people like to use Scotch-Brite and that kind of stuff. But what it does is it scratches the chrome. Like if you let me quickly show you, this chrome here is actually quite immaculate. You can see there's zero sort of scratches on it.
Yes. Yeah. Correct.
But if you use something, I mean, this bike is brand new, but if you use something like Scotch-Brite, it's going to scratch the chrome up, and that's something you don't want. So with the chrome, which is your rims, your exhaust, your silencers, you want to just basically keep it as clean as possible, as dust-free as possible.
Okay. And can you do the buffing at home? And what are the kind of tools, or do you need to use any specific?
So if you do use the rubbing compound, which is the Waxpol rubbing compound, you just need a piece of cloth. You put a little bit on it, and then just keep going, rubbing as hard as you can. They call the main tool in buffing elbow grease. So yeah, it's basically until your elbow is about to fall off. So that's what you need. Yeah, it's a lot of patience.
So that's a good tip for everybody who's planning to shine those parts in your motorcycle. You'll have to be really, really patient with it and put in a lot of effort to get the shine out of it. So
yeah, or pay somebody to do it.
Or pay somebody to do it. But I think nothing is open in the lockdown. So if you have the things at home, you have to do it yourself.
You could give your kids could earn pocket money, just by rubbing it clean.
Yeah, probably. That's a good tip for your kids also, to keep your kids busy. They're bothering you. Just put them to polish your motorcycle. Yes.
True.
So next, another very common issue that it's a very big worry for people that when the motorcycle is parked for a very long time, the battery might dry out. And I remember a long time ago, my dad used to park his motorcycle on a plank of wood if we were going out on a long holiday or something like that. So it's been in my mind since then. So I know that bikes have become modern now.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that your battery is completely charged and everything is fit and fine in the motorcycle in that area?
So like you said, it's a very valid point, because we keep hearing these conversations from our dada or our parents ke battery drain ho jayega and stuff. But I mean, let me tell you in no sort of ambiguous way that these are modern motorcycles and they will not drain batteries. I mean, I personally own a few motorcycles, and 6-8 months without touching them, and you walk up to them and they fire right up. But if you do have this fear and you want to sort of just alleviate it from your mind, you say, okay, I want to do something to make sure that this battery is not draining, then I would tell you once a week, maybe once in 10 days, walk up to your motorcycle, uncover it, clean it. See, here's something that, coming back to the exhaust and the dirt and stuff, you don't want your exhaust to get heated up when there's gunk on it, because that's going to cause that gunk to stick on it and then eventually catch rust. So definitely, please, all of you, clean your motorcycle before you start it. So yeah, coming back to that, you walk up to your motorcycle, clean it, and then thumb the starter, let it idle. Don't rev it up, because you want the bike's been shut off for a while, so you want the oil to circulate. You want it to sort of take its time to warm up. So you give it a few minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes, let it warm up, and then you can rev it. You keep the bike running for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and you will have your battery, if it's drained in any way, you'll have it topped up back again. So with respect to the battery, that's one, because we keep hearing these conversations from our dada or our parents ke battery drain ho jayega and stuff. But I mean, let me tell you in no sort of ambiguous way that these are modern motorcycles and they will not drain batteries. I mean, I personally own a few motorcycles, and 6-8 months without touching them, and you walk up to them and they fire right up. But if you do have this fear and you want to sort of just alleviate it from your mind, you say, okay, I want to do something to make sure that this battery is not draining, then I would tell you once a week, maybe once in 10 days, walk up to your motorcycle, uncover it, clean it. See, here's something that, coming back to the exhaust and the dirt and stuff, you don't
Yeah.
want your exhaust to get heated up when there's gunk on it, because that's going to cause that gunk to stick on it and then eventually catch rust. So definitely, please, all of you, clean your motorcycle before you start it. So yeah, coming back to that, you walk up to your motorcycle, clean it, and then thumb the starter, let it idle. Don't rev it up, because you want the bike's been shut off for a while, so you want the oil to circulate. You want it to sort of take its time to warm up. So you give it a few minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes, let it warm up, and then you can rev it. You keep the bike running for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and you will have your battery, if it's drained in any way, you'll have it topped up back again. So with respect to the battery, yeah, that's one way in which you can do it. Of course, for any one of you that have like a closed garage, or have access to an electrical point near your motorcycle, then you can always get a battery charger. Optimate makes them, Deltran makes them. They're available at any of these big stores, Big Bad Bikes, Moto Usher, and they're like anywhere between 3 to 6,000 rupees. You have a small lead. It's easy to install. You have a small lead coming out. You just keep it charged. You don't have to do anything. There's no intervention. So
Okay, got it. And say if your battery is already drained out, is there any chance that you can try jump starting the motorcycle?
It depends on. Yeah, you can just to answer your question straight up. Yes, you definitely can. However, you need to have the fuel pump come on. So if it's drained completely and your fuel pump isn't even coming on, forget about it. Don't even try. If your fuel pump does come on and it primes the fuel system, yeah, then you can do the old-fashioned way of push starting it, and the bike will start.
Okay, got it. So in that case,
but it's absolutely essential for the fuel pump to come on, because otherwise there's no way of getting fuel to the engine.
Yeah, correct. So in that way, the only option that you have is to get your battery recharged.
Yeah, you would have to get, or what you could do is, if you can also get someone with a jumper cable and jump start the bike, you don't have to take the physical battery out, because once it's running, it charges up pretty quickly.
All right. So before we move ahead, I think, for people who've joined a little later, I would like to tell all of you that we are here in conversation with Joshua Crasto, and we are talking about how to take care of your Jawa motorcycles during this prolonged lockdown period. And so far, we've discussed about how do you park your motorcycle in a safe manner, how do you keep it safe from rodents by using tobacco, and how do you keep it covered and mostly store it in a dust-free environment. We've also spoken about cleaning. How do we clean? How do we wipe out all the water? There should be no water deposits so that there are no watermarks on it. And we've also touched upon on the topic of keeping your battery charged. So next thing, Josh, I would like to talk to you about is another thing that, which are very visible to us are brakes and tires. So Jawa, as you know, that it's got two variants. One comes with a single disc brake, single channel ABS with a drum brake at the rear, and another variant which has disc brakes on both the ends and dual channel ABS. So
right.
How do you take care of these the disc brakes and the drum brake at the rear separately?
So let me just start with the drum brake and sort of tie it up to washing your motorcycle again. So because you're not using your motorcycle and it's parked in one place, I know a lot of people have pressure hoses at home.
Yes.
So what people tend to do is put the pressure hose on, just spray it, and boom, you've got like a clean motorcycle. But what that does is it causes the drum brakes to sort of start squealing and bind up, because the inside starts rusting. So if you are using a pressure hose, then don't spray it on the rear brake, on the drum brake especially, because you start hearing that squeal. And of course the squeal goes away, but it's kind of annoying because it's there for the first 3-4 kilometers that you ride the bike, and then it of course goes away permanently. But so that's something to sort of watch out for, especially people who use a pressure hose. But as for the disc brakes, again, it's being a modern motorcycle, brakes don't usually bind unless there's some other underlying issue to it. So if you do feel at any point, or if you go up to a motorcycle and you try to roll it and you do feel at any point that the brake is like the wheel is jammed, or the brake pads are stuck on the rotor, I would advise you to roll the bike back and forth a bit. It will free up. It will never be jammed that much. It'll never free up. And your disc rotors sometimes, again, Bombay, Chennai, they do tend to catch rust because of the ocean. And the only way to see that go would be if you could ride your bike around the building and then just grab the brake, the rust cleans off immediately and it's like new. But other than that, there's no real maintenance. A big question that I often get asked, and people always call me and say, should I do this, is WD-40, grease, oil. Do not do any of that, because the minute you put any kind of lubricant, even WD-40, on your brake pads or on your brake rotors, your brake pads are finished. There's no way that you'll be able to use those brake pads again. You have to change them. So please do not, sort of use these fluids on your brake pads.
And any particular care to be taken for the tires?
So having well-inflated tires is ideal. That's what you want to do. And tires sometimes tend to leak over a period of time. But again, we've been in lockdown, 1 month and 1.5 months maybe. I don't see there being a bigger problem, especially if you're gonna come back to the motorcycle. If you roll it front and back, then you're not sitting on the same tire spot, which happens especially. I mean, not so much with street tires, but if you have race tires and stuff, you don't want them to be on a flat surface. You don't want them to be parked. You want them to be raised. So otherwise the tire gets a flat spot. But again, with modern motorcycles, with street tires like this, you don't really have that problem. Just make sure they are well inflated. So when the lockdown's over, you thumb the bike, you're ready to go. You don't have a flat tire.
All right. I think let's answer a few questions, because I've gotten quite a lot of questions.
Sure.
So there's an interesting question that says, how to prevent the fuel injection pump getting jammed due to unclean petrol. And I think, we had been talking about this as well, that, the fuel might go bad when it's stored in the tank for a long time. So how do you address that situation?
So yes, modern fuel that we're getting in our country right now doesn't stay. It's not like back in the day where 6-8 months and the fuel was still good to go. Fuel does turn bad pretty quickly. It does turn bad maybe in about 2.5-3 months. It also depends on where, again, and the humidity in the air and that kind of stuff. But so if you are planning to store your bike for an extended period of time, let's say 2-3 months, then I would tell you to almost empty the fuel out from the tank and leave it empty. However, if it's just for this lockdown period, there's really no concern over that, especially if you're starting the bike once a week, once in 10 days. The fuel is flowing through the system, the injectors, sort of not getting gummed up. So that's not a problem. But if you are going to do 3, 4, 5 months, then yes, of course, empty the fuel from your tank. That's the best advice I can give you.
Okay, so I hope that answers the question. I'm just going through other questions. Okay, there's a question on a home hack kind of a thing. So there's one gentleman who says that, is there any replacement for chain lube or chain spray, because his servicing is due and he can't get it done because of the lockdown, and he seems to be on a medical duty. So I think his motorcycle is running, but he wants to get the chain lubed. Yeah.
Okay, so perfect. So for all of you before I can get to that question, for all of you watching, we sell this great product called Dyno Lube. It's an amazing chain lube. So yeah, once we're done with this, please get on my website jcmoto.in and buy it. But for this gentleman with this peculiar problem, who is on the road, has no means of lubing his chain and so on and so forth, if he can get his hands on engine oil at a pinch, engine oil or gearbox oil, I think any truck shop should have it. Put it in a little cap, use a toothbrush and apply it on the chain just till he gets to service. I think that will definitely see him through without any damage on his chain.
Okay, I think, that's a good hack. And okay, I'm just going through a few other questions. Okay, there's a question on, we have to come back to the cleaning part. So as you know, Javas have a lot of matte colors. Okay, so how do you take care of the matte paint? because it's entirely completely different to the gloss surfaces.
So that is, yeah, this is a very important thing that I think is overlooked across brands. So if there are people here who ride other motorcycles that are matte also, please do not use any kind of polish on them. Matte paints do not like polish. They do not also like dust. So if you do find dust on your matte paint, you need to have one of those lint-free cloths. Make sure they're clean. Spray some water I mean, use a mug or hose and hose the dust off, and then use this soft cloth to gently wipe it. Because if you use a hard cloth or there's dust on your matte paint and you just go like this on it, you're just going to scratch the tank and it's not going to look good. So you the matte colors, although they look very good, maintaining them is a little more tedious and a little more sort of, you have to take a little more precautions and sort of, be careful of it.
Okay, so I think we've covered almost all the all the aspects of keeping your motorcycle safe, and so I just wanted to have a few more queries on
sure.
So after the lockdown, so a few things like what are the few things that you can do on a daily basis when you're riding your motorcycle, of course, and when you come back and park it at home. So what are the three main things that you should do to make sure that your motorcycle, the longevity of the motorcycle is increased, and you're not doing anything wrong?
Okay, like people hate me for saying this, but I think it's really important. And I do this not just on an everyday basis, but I do this if I'm on the road and I'm riding. Let's say I'm doing a long distance ride and I've come to my night halt. I will either the same night or the next morning wipe my whole motorcycle down, even if it's caked in mud or whatever, and dust. I will wipe it down, because that allows me to see or observe something. If like there's a wire hanging, if there's a nut loose, if there's something that's making a sound that's not supposed to make a sound. So I think that a lot of people, back in the day, that there was a motto: fill it, shut it, forget it. But I think they forgot to tell you to maintain it. So that so just wiping your motorcycle down and having a look at it to see, like, let me just quickly flip this around. There's like see around here, this nut, for example, or here. If there's mud in this, for example, then this is going to catch rust. If this catches rust, then whatever's mounted on behind will catch rust, and likewise around here. So even if you just wipe the whole motorcycle through, your axles, these little tiny bolts, I think a lot of maintaining your motorcycle is keeping it clean. So and that solves a lot of your problems. It solves the rusting problem. It solves if stuff falls off, if stuff's loose, whatever, you spot it before anyone else can spot it. Your brake rotors, for example, your brake rotors are smooth, but if you see that it has lines on it while you wipe it, or you're like, oh, okay, something's wrong with this, let me go to the mechanic, ask him what it is, your service center or whatever, So I think the most important and overlooked thing is keeping your motorcycle clean, which if you do it yourself, it allows you to learn and also kind of understand it better. The other thing is, remember that it's like anything else, like your phone, like your computer. It is a machine. It is not going to be perfect every single time. So as with any kind of machine, there will be some issues, and remember to fix it as soon as it crops up. A lot of people don't fix issues immediately. Like your brake pads are wearing out and the service center tells you, oh, it's like $800 to change your brake pads, and you're like, I'll do it next service. The next time you come to service, not only are your brake pads worn out, your rotors are worn out, and now you're spending 5,000 rupees for the whole thing. So it's about timely intervention to anything that goes wrong.
Okay, great. One thing, we have a lot of old Java owners in our community as well. So what is your message to them to keep their old Javas up and running during this lockdown?
I think, with old Java owners, I think they'll have more experience than I do at keeping their motorcycles running. But I think all of them pretty much know what it is. It's keep the points clean, keep the bike running, sort of start it up, tires. It's the same thing, except it's a little more hands-on, which sort of I really appreciate, because those guys really love their motorcycles and take that effort to keep it going. And if they, I mean, I'd say it's just with the old motorcycles, if you keep your points clean, that motorcycle is going to start up no matter what. So they know it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, one final question, which will be helpful for, I think, all of us. What are your 5 go-to tools which we should have at home?
So
At home, I mean, which are like the basic ones. Yeah.
So my basic line is, if you can't fix it with a hammer, duct tape, and zip ties, you're not a real mechanic. Okay, but that's let's take that out of the window. I think most essential tools that you could carry with you, one would be a grip vise or an adjustable spanner, which can be used to open multiple bolts, for sure. The other thing, with the older Javas, I would say a spark plug spanner. With the newer Javas, not so much. And what else? Let me look at this bike. What would you need? Wheel spanners, because a lot of people ride cross country, they ride everywhere, and they forget that you need tools to open your wheels if you have a puncture. Because if you have a puncture, you have to take that wheel out,
Yeah. Correct.
So wheel spanners have to be like a very essential part of your toolkit. And also, sorry, but this is a trick. I always keep a chain link, a spare chain link in my toolkit, because if you do lose a chain link, even if you have a perfectly running motorcycle, you're not going anywhere. So that chain link works wonders. Yeah.
Great. So I'll just summarize that. So a grip vise or an adjustable spanner, wheel spanner, and a spare chain link is something that you should always have on you.
Yeah, and for the older guys, a spark plug spanner.
Okay, great. Spark plug spanner. All right. So Josh, I think we are coming towards the end of this session. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
This was really, really helpful. And, I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you on this.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody for joining us. I've seen a lot of comments from all of you whose service was due during this particular time. I think, you must have gotten an intimation from our side, or you will certainly get an intimation on your emails that we have extended the servicing for you guys till the 30th of June. So once the lockdown gets over, you have an option of calling your dealership and scheduling your due service, which was supposed to happen during this lockdown period. So you need not worry about your free services, which was supposed to happen in this period. We will take care of them through our dealerships once the lockdown is over. So, all right, everyone, thanks for signing up.
Yeah,
and we will
thank
see
you so much
soon next week with our new session. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. See you, Vikram. Take care.
See you. Bye-bye.